Hello everyone, it is I, Mike V, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Play Online Poker. I have recorded an online poker session today, it's about three and a half hours long, and I was live recording it, and unfortunately I've had some sound issues, so for the first 4 episodes of this new series, I am going to do a post-commentary on an edited version of my play. Each hour is condensed into a smaller video. In this video, you can see it is about 15 minutes long. I played in the Sunday Big $3.30 tournament with a $2,000 guaranteed prize pool. And this was on Sunday, the 24th of January, 2016. And I am going to go through the hands that I have played. So, as you can see here, I've got the video here, and this first hand I had A6, so I brought this hand up. I'm only going to be showing the most interesting hands of the session, so this has been edited down from about the first hour up to 15 minutes. So the reason why I brought this hand up is because many people think, oh, I've got ace, so I should play. Well, this is a common beginner mistake. I folded, just to give a demonstration here, that you notice that a person after me immediately raised, so I just saved some chips as a result of that. So that was the first interesting hand that I wanted to bring up. Here you can see I have 2 nines, and as you can see, there's a raise of 540 and a re-raise of 1800. So you're trying to remember what happened in this hand. So it's folded around to me. And I made probably a really tough laydown here. If I recall, I folded after after deliberation, because I thought that there was somebody out there with a better hand. The person who 3-betted 1800 on the top is likely to have a pretty strong hand. This was early in the tournament, so. And as you can see, the guy with ace-king, he shoved, the jacks called. So I was right. I would have been in a difficult situation had I played that. But of course, if you noticed on the flop, I would have flopped a set of nines. But nothing you could do about that. I did make the right decision initially. So that was what was in my mind when I played the nines. In this hand, I had king-jack offsuit. It was limped around. Let's see, I limped, and if I recall, nobody raised in this pot, so we got to see a flop as we wait for the video to move on. All right, so the flop is a couple deuces and a queen. It's checked around to me, and I thought that because it's such a dry board, I've decided to take a little stab at it. I made a bet of 500. Normally, in most situations, this would take it down, though the guy to my right decided to call. He checks after the jack comes. I did pair my jack, though I was kind of suspicious that he might have a queen, and a bet here won't give me any value, so I just checked it down to the river. He bets, and I kind of suspected that he might have a queen, but I couldn't really fold in this situation. And as you can see, yeah, he had the queen, so I had to call the 1,000. It was unfortunate, but I did save more chips by checking the turn when there, it's likely that he wouldn't have called a bigger turn bet, or if he would have had a better hand than me if he did call. So I saved some chips as a result of that, but nothing you can do. In this hand, I had ace-king, and guy to my right on the button raises to 500. I decided in this situation to 3-bet, because ace-king's pretty good against most of the ranges of my opponents that I've seen so far up until this point. And I was in the small blinds, so I wanted to have the betting lead going into the flop. So the guy up top decides to call as well, in addition to the button. Flop comes jack 10-3 with 2 overcards and a gut shot. I made a continuation bet of, I forgot how much I put in. Was it 1,900? 1500, okay, 1900, yeah. And this was enough to get my opponents to fold, and so I won a nice pot as a result with pre-flop aggression, taking the lead, and they folded. All right, this hand, let's see, Ace Jack. It was raised under the gun minimum, and then everyone's called, so got pretty good odds, with the Ace Jack. So I decided to call, see what will happen. And this is an interesting hand because it tells you a story of mistakes some opponents may make. This guy who raises to 900. Let's see, the daddy stacker or whatever his name is. Yeah, he raised minimum to 900. And you'll be surprised what hand he has at the end of this hand here. So it was called around. Flop comes with 2 7s and a 4. And there's a big bet on the flop, which I obviously would fold. But if you see the other opponents, notice that the guy to my right just flat calls. He's got a really strong hand. And actually the guy who's bet also had a strong hand. The original, the guy who raised to 900, whose turn it is right now, interestingly decides to go all in on this flop. We're going to wait to see if it happens. There it is for 46,000. Insta call and an insta call. You can see pocket eights, pocket aces, and a 7-9 for trip sevens. The guy who min 3 betted to 900 had pocket aces, and I'm thinking that is not. If you have pocket aces, you have to raise it much more than that. So he didn't. He made it very cheap for a guy with 7-9 suited to call, and it costed him his whole stack basically. Caused his opponent to double up as a result for getting lucky. A nice big bet would have probably gotten the 9-7 of diamonds to fold, but let's see. In this hand, we got Queen Jack offsuit. A guy to my left under the gun raises to 810. We're in the big blind. And 2 other callers. I called this hand. This one's actually a very difficult one because the guy to my left has been playing really tight. This is actually probably the most difficult hand of the first hour of the tournament. And yeah, he bets 26-32. I have top pair. And it's folded to me. I took a bit of time before deciding to call. And yeah, 4 is unlikely to change anything, but he goes all in this situation. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's like, this guy's got to have aces, kings, big pair, ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen, set of 9s possibly, or the remaining 2 queens. It was very difficult. This is for all my stack. I made a very tight laydown as a result. Tell me in the comment section below whether you think that was a good laydown or not. It'd be interesting for discussion. And the next hand, this one is, well, I get pocket aces in this next hand here. So I'm very short stacked, as you can see. I have 7,800 chips, and yeah, this is. So we got a guy that to raise under the gun, so that was awesome. So obviously, when it's folded around to me, I'm gonna 3-bet it, and if I recall, I made it to 2,000. I didn't want to scare everyone out just yet, and the blinds were still pretty low, even though my stack was low relative to everyone else's. We got a caller on the small blind, and the big blind, I believe, folded, if I remember, so it was heads up. We're just waiting for the video. Guy's still thinking. Yeah, he folded. Flop came King Jack 7, so I thought that if my opponent had a, flopped a king or a jack, he would likely call to my c-bet. So he checks to me. I obviously make a continuation bet. I think I went all in since my since my stack is equivalent to the pot. He folded though, so that's too bad he missed. But we won. We got back up to 11,000. And the next hand right after was an interesting one as well. I think I didn't play on this one that much. Let's see. I had ace-4 of clubs. Let's see. I think I did raise it. Yeah, I made a min-raise to 800. Got called. Ah, yeah, there's a 3-bet right there and a big call right there, so I got out of the way. This is another instance where, having an ace with a weak kicker, even if it's with, suited, is not that great. As you can see, I would have flopped top pair, but look at the action here. Ace-queen versus pocket fours. Both hands were beating me pre-flop, so you don't want to overplay, a weak ace. It's another interesting hand that, you can learn from. Don't overplay, weak hands. In this case, I have ace-9 of diamonds. I raised, got called. Got called on the cutoff. Waiting for the small blind to act here. All right. And the big blind calls. And the big blind calls. All right, my words are getting tongue-twisted. All right, so the flop comes pretty dry, 6-7-7. I make a continuation bet to take it down. It's unlikely that my opponents will, have anything here. And there's some background chat from the previous hand that it wasn't shown in this video. But I did, as you can see, I won that pot. All right, here's another interesting hand from the first hour. Ace-10 of hearts. Limp to me. I decided to call, to just limp. Small blind calls. Big blind will probably check. Trying to remember the sequence here. All right, I flop top pair in this situation. There's 2 clubs on board. Top pair, top kicker. We have a min bet by the small blind, which is pretty odd. We got a couple of callers. I obviously made a raise in this case because I wanted to narrow the field and also get value from other guys with a 10 with a lower kicker. So it was folded to the guy to my right who called. He checked. I wasn't afraid of the jack that much, though I know the guy to my right is pretty capable of slow playing as well, so I didn't want to make it too big of a bet. He calls again. The board pairs jacks. I decided to check and see a showdown. As you could see, he had a 5 only, so I won that pot. Though I kind of wonder if I should have bet for value on that river. So, that's something that's still, in my mind a little bit here. So here's the final hand before the break of the first hour that I played, and this one's very funny. So I got pocket queens, I raise, and the guy on the very left goes all in. So, what do you think he's got? Aces, kings, jacks, ace, king. What do you think he's got? Well, I called because I was short. I was getting short stack, and he also had pocket queens, so we split the pot. We split the pot. Yeah, and that was the final hand of the first hour and also the first episode that I'll be releasing. There are a total of 4 episodes that I'll be making that will involve this particular tournament. And if you enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't. You can visit my website for more information about me and my work. You can go to clubmikev.co. And you can follow me on Twitter at ClubMikeV. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This is Poker. This is Club Mike V. Thank you so much for watching, and take care and have fun with your games.